getting a call from the Triple H and Associate phone line. Triple H and Associates, a Marion Hampton? I'm sorry, he's currently on the moon right now. Can we take a message? Sure, yeah.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates, locations on Earth and Jupiter.
Well, looky here, reindeer. Hampton has decided to join the level playing field in ownership. This Triple H and Associate board is not done destroying your opponents yet. And Hampton, my friends, has just gone to the moon because of this piece of news. If you've been living under a rock for the last 15 minutes, this man, Mike McDaniel, we used to call Miami Mike McDaniel. You're going to have to pardon me getting that name shed and going in the direction of L.A. Mike. But L.A. Mike McDaniel has taken the OC job in that Chargers organization, trying to revamp and construct an offense and architect an offense that probably mirrors something like he did in Miami. Achane to the moon. There's always a threat of another running back getting drafted. Keep in mind that this is a dangerous draft class in that the running backs are not thought of to be as good, but there are a couple great running backs that if they fell to Miami Mike, he could potentially draft one and make a little bit of a problem for us in trying to figure out and pencil out everything. But as of this moment right now in time, Triple H and Associates is back in business full force.
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates, locations on Earth and Jupiter.
And dare I say, we're probably putting this man on we don't have a Saturn man yet. Let's go Saturn.
The Saturn Men.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
Spaceman.
Seems like a great place to put Hampton to me. I don't know what you guys think, but we could even argue Jupiter at this point. But let's make sure we've got a good handle on this situation. Not go jumping completely head first, but definitely feel like this is a damn good signing, and it's good for Herbert. It's good for everybody. So Hampton definitely fitting for that. Let's run it back for good measure. The Saturn board, ladies.
The Saturn Men.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
Drop the Hampton emojis in the live chat, please. Miami Mike McDaniel, the OC, bringing that Achane volume and treatment over to the running back room in LAC. LA Mike, foregoing potentially maybe a Cleveland Brown head coaching job. He didn't want to mess around. I think what it was, if you want to break it down, is that he probably didn't have a handful of head coaching opportunities. Sounds like the Ravens weren't going to work for him. Sounds like he was going to get turned down from the top options. And instead of going somewhere to fail like Cleveland, he said, give me the top OC job I can find. Let me go crush it, and let me have the first pick of the top option next season. That's what this is. It's a tryout for next year's quarterback carousel conversation. We'll be talking about if Miami Mike is successful. We'll be talking about Mike McDaniel is the top head coach job option for 2027. So Hampton goes to the moon. There's definitely some sort of, draft watch for who Mike might also draft. Might Vidal be really attractive for him? Might Ladd McConkey go to the moon? I'm kind of thinking Ladd McConkey's going to hit the moon man board. Love Ladd McConkey. The doubt still will be pretty real given he didn't produce last year. I think even with people being excited about Miami Mike McDaniel now becoming LA Mike McDaniel, they might be intrigued by Ladd, but I don't know if Ladd climbs back up to a territory where we don't want, him, in this situation. Vidal might not even be on the team. It depends on what they end up doing. My guess is Mike will look to the draft to get his number 2 running back. I don't think this is Trey Harris is somebody to watch as well. Lad McConkey might very well become, like, we got to remember, there's an evolution to Mike McDaniel. And if LA Mike took Debo, created a wide back role, then came to Miami, and we all thought Tyreek Hill was going to become his Debo, it was Devon Achane. So is there a world where Lad McConkey becomes part wide back to him, and we see him use Hampton amazingly, use Hampton like Achane, but does he have a potential wide back in Lad? I think Lad could be fantastic. He signed through 27, says Silver. Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure what Vidal's contract was. Yeah, because he was drafted not too long ago. So Vidal still got the one year. I think it's 1 year. But still, the number 2 could be Mike McDaniel's choice of a rookie. You get Jonah Coleman in here. He definitely tried to do what he tried to do with Gordon. He can still try and do here. The thing we got to be careful about is that we don't sit here and go, this is going to be the exact blueprint carried over, because we saw Debo not carry over. The blueprint for Debo was transitioned into Achane. So Gadsden, Hampton, Lad, Herbert all go to the moon. Herbert's going to be the best quarterback that Mike McDaniel has ever even talked to in a conversation. And so it's going to be interesting what Herbert does. Now, we did a live stream not too long ago on being Herbert apologists and continuing to say, how many times do we say, yeah, well, Herbert will come around, or Herbert had a bad luck, the offensive line was injured, Herbert this and that. It's always an excuse, and we're always Herbert apologists. And we've been high on Herbert. If you remember, Herbert's the GOAT, he'll punch you in the throat. Let me see if I can even find that video or that audio clip anywhere. But we've always loved Herbert. He's just been held back. Everything we talked about on that previous live stream, out the window. And that's what's so fun about this game we play, fantasy football. That's what's so fun about this sport, the NFL, is everything we talked about with this situation, that Harbaugh might not know what he's doing. And Harbaugh doesn't have to, because now Mike McDaniel's there. And this is a great decision by Harbaugh. And so Harbaugh's kind of questionable track so far in the NFL, his return to the NFL, his return to the new NFL. His old days, it doesn't translate. This is a new NFL. He hasn't, coached in until recently. And so you can't use the history. We've been worried a little bit about Harbaugh translating back into the new age NFL. But now we don't need to worry about any of that. And I think Miami Mike is going to put him, LA Mike, is going to put him, Harbaugh, now in a position where he can focus on different things and keep this team raw motivated, while Mike McDaniel, LA Mike, gets all of these weapons in tune. Gadsden to the moon, Hampton to the mother freaking moon, to Saturn.
The Saturn Men.
Hampton to Saturn.
One small step for man, one giant leap for Saturn.
To Saturn.
To Saturn.
Stark on the rise.
Hampton to Saturn, Gadsden to Saturn, Lad probably going to the moon. I can't imagine not putting Lad. Man, I'm putting Lad on the moon man list now.
The moon man.
I'm gonna run out of spots.
Dropping loads in outer space.
We just started. I'm getting amped. Is this maybe
Space Moon says.
maybe Revenge Tour? Do we? Let's okay. For now.
It's time for some revenge. Revenge tour, revenge tour. Revenge tour, revenge tour.
Revenge Tour, Lad and Herbert sound about right. For now, I definitely can move Lad onto the Moon Man list. I don't want to get too carried away and run out of spots early on. But this feels really, really nice. Genty's on the Revenge Tour. Lad's on the Revenge Tour. Herbert's on the Revenge Tour. This is an eclectic group of monsters, eclectic group of bounce back candidates. And I think Lad is going to be a marvel in McDaniel's system. And I think, again, people are going to overthink this and just think that the translation will be exact. We might see Lad become Debo Samuel. Lad is one of the better route runners. I mean, this is exciting. This is exciting. Oh, hold on. We got a call coming in.
In a jam. Call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
Hello? Hello? Yes, hello? Hello? Yeah, you want to get a hold of who? Hampton? I'm sorry, Hampton's on the space station board. Hold on a second. He's already on Saturn? I'm sorry, Hampton got on a shuttle late last night. He's already at Saturn, departing now. And we'll have to have him call you back. Thank you very much.
You've just been Smitty approved.
To Saturn.
Hampton, Herbert, Laddie, Gadsden. Phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Hag over there on Rumble. I don't know if Landman's over there on Rumble. I don't know if New Age Outlaw's over there on Rumble, but I appreciate you guys. Thank you, New Age and Hag, for the gifted memberships on Rumble last show. Thank you, Landman, for the super chats over on the Rumble side on the last show. Welcome back for this live stream as well, part 2 of the 8 p.m. show, because your boy does this like nobody else. And I say that with arrogance, but I feel very confident that it's accurate. There's nobody that does what we do. You may disagree with me. Some of you might even hate me, but you're here every day watching, and it's still your favorite show because no one else does what we do. No one else comes in here, goes live, ends the live stream, creates a new live stream, watches a lot of viewers fall off because you end one live stream with a lot of people and you try and create another one. You get less viewers. I'm not worried about any of that. I'm worried about doing my job. And my job is when something like this breaks, I end the show, immediately create a new compartmentalized video or live stream, and we come in here and cook.
Let him cook.
Now, we're live when big news breaks. And that's the same concept, even if we're already live. Husseini, you're live.
Man, Smitty.
I feel bad.
Now, first Mendoza to the Raiders, most likely, and they got Brady orchestrating his genius master plan, and then now you got LA Mike controlling the Chargers, controlling that offensive lineup. Man, they're gonna get their O-line back, fully healthy. Man, Andy Reid better have something up his sleeve, otherwise we're gonna be screwed because I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm getting too ahead of myself, but
no, you're
Denver's
not.
not going.
This division is insane, bro.
It's stacked. It's stacked now. That's crazy, man.
Now, let's not get carried away. Let me go. I'm going to clear all.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Let's not get carried away. And hold on. I think you know what I'm going to say. The West, both Wests are the best. Like, let's not forget that the Rams and the Seahawks are both in the championship game right now. The West rules. The West rules the roost. So we walk into I'm going to have to redo this for 2026, but you're talking about the Rams and the Niners play really well. The Seahawks and the Rams, but I will say I do believe that the AFC West is going to be better this coming season. Potentially. Maybe not, actually. I don't know. We'll see what KC does. But KC, Denver, Chargers, Raiders. What a division. One of the toughest divisions I could possibly think of. The West is crazy. I think the AFC and NFC West could absolutely beat anybody else. If you combined all the other divisions together, you'd have 2 or 3 of the top team. This is crazy, man. But Chargers are going to be scary. They're going to be scary.
Yeah.
And Herbert, and the offensive line, we keep, like I said, last show, throw everything out that we said concerned. Like, we still very excited about Hampton, still very excited about Gaston, still very hopeful of Herbert. But the last live stream we did on this was like, what's going to happen? And now we have those answers. Those answers answered on January, what is it? January 20? January 20, we were given the answer. The answer is Mike McDaniel. We said we wanted Mike McDaniel with Bucky, with Genty, with Gibbs or Bijan. Stefanski went to Atlanta, horrible. Petzing went to be OC in Detroit to be under Campbell, not as bad as people think. Bucky, we thought maybe Genty or Bucky would still be in the running to have Mike McDaniel call plays and architect touches, but we'll take Hampton. We'll take Hampton. It's better than him going somewhere like Tennessee, or Cleveland, and we see Mike McDaniel waste away in those situations. This is good. This is good. I'm not going to be greedy. I'm not going to say, but I wish I would have had it. I'll take it. I know, Husseini, you're here as a KC fan, but this is a fantasy show, so there's only so much you should even. You bring a little too much of your KC stuff. I love that you call in with it, but you bring a little too much that to the table when you're making decisions, I bet. So you gotta separate them a little bit. And I love having football talk on here. Not suggesting you call in with less of that. That's not my intention. I'm just saying.
I know.
Make sure you're not looking. Yeah, make sure you're not looking at it at all that way. Maybe actually, you've given us some teams that make me think you don't take it into too much consideration.
No, I mean, I don't. I'll draft anyone. If you're gonna win me a championship, I'll draft whoever. But
just making sure, because you're always concerned about KC
Yeah.
first, which I like having a little of that. I don't want you to change that. I like having somebody that brings football to the perspective instead of always being about fantasy. So don't change yourself on what you call about, all the time. I wouldn't mind some fantasy too, but I just want to make sure, you're looking at this and saying we can, relish in Hampton with McDaniel and not avoiding.
Oh yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, I didn't have your show back then when I was drafted, but I drafted Genty, and then I drafted second round. I drafted Ladd actually mistakenly in like the fourth round or something like that. But anyway, so I don't let this stuff get to me. I just look at the stuff and I'm thinking, man, I'm wondering what, being a Chiefs fan, what the hell are we gonna do? But at the same time, this makes me, I guess in fantasy terms, this makes it more interesting as to who the Chiefs are going to draft 9th overall now, I feel like, because if it's going to be, Tyson, or if they trade down for maybe Tate, or if Jeremiah Love is still there somehow, I think that brings now the Chiefs back into the fantasy mix and make them another, powerhouse in the West too, which, I mean, they already are, but it brings the levels even more competitive. And I think that'll be helpful. That'll be good for fantasy.
The chat has already settled on Malibu Mike, and I think that's really fitting. I think Malibu Mike versus LA Mike is a lot better. And Malibu is in LA, if I remember correctly, so that works fine. So Malibu Mike it is. That's easy.
That's a good name.
Malibu Mike. All right, hang tight real quick. Let me just circle around the phone line. Mute yourself, caller, real quickly. I'll be right with you, okay? Let me go over to this other caller first. It was Nick from Baltimore. Everybody else stay muted real quickly. Husseini, don't go anywhere. And if you need to interrupt me real quickly in between, if you got to go or something, do that. But let me just go over to Nick from Baltimore first. Go ahead, Nick. You're live. Go ahead, Nick.
Hey, what's up, Smitty?
What's up?
I was just thinking, why are we giving any love to QJ? I mean, he was on, he was on pace for 100 targets if he played all 17 games during the fantasy season, but he only played 14. He got 85 targets. I mean, with Mike McDaniel instead of Greg Roman, why wouldn't we give him a little love?
Why are we going to come in here and give QJ the love when he's a disappointing player? Like, what are we doing here? In the middle of a celebration, and you have to come in and counter, I don't know. It's like just going against the grain right now. Like QJ, why we got to come in and celebrate QJ? What's QJ done for you consistently? Did QJ win you a championship? Did QJ?
I thought we were working on trying to fix our biases and leave stuff in the past.
Finish him.
Isn't that something?
There. I'll work on myself tomorrow, Nick. All right, Travis, you're live.
I knew where QJ call was coming, but he still got his fan base.
Look, I'm not saying he's not relevant. I could just see Nick calling it. Remember when you hung up on me and yelled it? It's because it's not the player that we're going to celebrate yet. He's got to prove himself. Could he prove himself? Sure. But you call in and tell me this is part of my bias. This is what's funny about what I do. If you disagree with me,
boomer bust
bias. If you disagree with me, I'm wrong. If you disagree with me, then I'm hanging on to something. But if you agree with me, then I'm right. So Nick from Baltimore says, I thought we were working on ourselves to get over our bias Smitty. What? Because you like QJ? Because you have him in 17 leagues, Nick? I'm supposed to all of a sudden say QJ to the moon. You know what solves a little case of the dropsies? Having a new offensive coordinator. Your hands just start working better all of a sudden. Look, I don't mind QJ. I don't mind him, but this is not a QJ got lifted up and is going to the moon show. He's somebody that now, this could maybe develop for him. If you've got a oversaturation of QJ shares like Nick, then this is good news for you for sure. But why do I not have QJ on screen? Because I only have so much room for players on my screen. I'm not going to put QJ on the screen and waste valuable real estate until he proves himself. Okay, go ahead, Travis.
Yeah, and I think Ladd and Gadsden are clearly the best two pass catchers on the team, and we still got to see Trey Harris get a chance too, because he was kind of blocked by Keenan Allen this year too. And, QJ started hot, so he didn't get a ton of targets. But what I was calling it about was, this is the biggest news. I think it's awesome for the weapons, but I think it's even bigger news for Herbert, because you look at Tua was a 4,600-yard passer under Mike McDaniel when he had everything working right with that offense. So
Herbert to the
moon.
Herbert
has a chance now to actually throw enough, and because he throws to his running backs too like crazy. So
and I don't know
that chance now to get enough passes out.
And I don't know that he'll go up that much in people's rankings. I think he'll certainly go up, but I mean, you're almost protected in Herbert being in a territory where if he climbs too high, it's still good, because you have Hurts, you have Burrow, you have Lamar, you have all these QBs, and you start getting into a range where, Herbert could climb like 2-3 rounds or something like that, but you're still getting him where people don't want to grab quarterback till middle rounds. And I don't think Herbert climbs higher than that unless he has some sort of preseason explosion, and then late drafts, they can't relish in late Herbert drafting. But Herbert will be a good quarterback, especially if you pair him with like a Dak. You grab Herbert and Dak, you grab Herbert and Bo Nix, you grab Herbert and Caleb, you grab Herbert and T-Law. You just get a good like duo going. Even Herbert and JD5, even Herbert and Mahomes, because Mahomes is going to be 6-7 round material. Like, you literally could go back-to-back quarterback at like 7-8. I don't know where Herbert will go. Herbert will probably go a lot higher than we expect, because people will be amped about that. And a lot of people are going to act like they're first to, ranking Hampton high. Everyone's going to be high on him. But, this is our boy, so I feel like we can relish a little bit better in this, a little bit louder. But Ladd is the one I'm really excited about all of a sudden. I just think we might see Deebo Samuel's role. And again, just because he did something in San Francisco, Mike McDaniel, architecting really the first wide back role that's been widely analyzed, replicated, et cetera, just because he did that there, and just because he did what he did in Miami with Achane, doesn't mean he's going to exactly copy one of those exactly in LAC. He might come up with the third morph of the wide back using Ladd and Hampton, using Gadsden in weird ways, using QJ as well, potentially. Or let's say Trey Harris, pops onto the scene and really grows under McDaniel's reign. So there's a lot of options here, and nothing should necessarily 100% transfer in your mind. You should be open-minded that everybody could eat, and this is a quarterback that McDaniel's never had. I mean, Herbert has failed, and Herbert we keep apologizing for. And I was not wrong on the last live stream to say, how long do we apologize for Herbert? How long do we give this guy the benefit of the doubt over and over and over again? Well, we just got that answer. He gets one more try, that's for sure.
Mashed potatoes.
Yeah, and I will say, Deebo in the wide back role might be one of the best places for him, because he needs the ball in his hands, and I trust him more to catch a quick short pass than going deep and running routes. But saying that, Ladd does so many things well in that short area that I think it's going to be hard for him to, completely take over a role like that.
Also, keep in mind, This is a tough situation to predict in terms of personnel because McDaniel loves to do his own thing. He loves to bring in Niner players and Miami players probably. So wouldn't surprise me if we started hearing weird conversations about Waddle trade. Like you never know what is going to come through the smoke season. So we won't know what's true, how much weight's behind this and that. And of course, Harbaugh's got to really pull the trigger on those things. But we are going to see McDaniel get more toys and weapons. This is not like he comes over and it's the end of the offseason. He's there at the beginning of the offseason to help make this offense what he wants it to be. He's really going to be in charge, and Harbaugh's going to guide and be the foreman for sure. But we don't know what this offense is yet. And that's why I say we're excited about Hampton, but we also have to just stay on our toes in terms of maybe cuffing or just making sure we're reacting enough if McDaniel does something wild in the draft. And maybe he drafts somebody that we just cuff to Hampton. We feel really ultra confident in that running attack altogether, but we got to keep an eye on it. And they can still trade for a big name wide receiver. I mean, who knows what they end up doing. But I think he probably is pretty happy with Ladd, and Ladd will return to monsters. I think I got to put him on the Moon Man list. He's on the Revenge Tour board, but I love Ladd so much. I think he's gonna.
I do too. I think he will stick with Ladd, but like you said, if he for some reason had in mind, I want to go get Waddle or I want to bring in a different wide receiver or something, that could be where Ladd could be a piece to trade too. Any of these pieces, he could also say, "Oh, I don't like him in my offense," and they could trade him and draft someone or trade for someone, or he can do anything you want.
What if he trades for Achane? Achane was in trade rumors.
Yep.
What you never know. That'd be insane. I think I'd literally have to change my pants, and I'd have to. I'll be back in like 10 minutes. I got to figure out what I'm going to do on the next live stream. But yeah, I'm excited about this. This couldn't have been better unless it was Genty or Bucky, because Gibbs is already off the table with the Stefanski debacle. Hate that. I'm sorry, Bijan. Bijan was off the table for McDaniel because of the Stefanski debacle. Petzing in Detroit, which is not as bad as people are making it out to be.
No.
Those are off the table. So it's Bucky, and we didn't really think much about Hampton. It had been talked about, but it wasn't feeling like a front runner till the last couple hours. And we hadn't got to it yet because I was doing the wide receiver rankings. But man, I don't know. Yeah, Lambert Smith is also a pretty decent option. He's got weapons for sure. I mean, I think Trey Harris was supposed to be really, really good, and he has got a little bit of that Ladd type style to him. So we don't know which one. The thing about Ladd that makes me so excited is that Ladd McConkey is, in my opinion, some of the best footwork and hands and route running in the game. And he didn't do anything last year. So you're going to have a lot of people soured on that. And even with the addition of Mike McDaniel in LAC, you're still going to have enough people that got bit by this that don't really want to play in the Ladd McConkey game until they feel more comfortable with it. So he'll definitely climb. Like his value just skyrocketed. But is it like where a stock goes up double and then literally it's going to go up like 10 more times to where that double was really a small amount? It's hard to say. I don't know.
I don't think so because people that pay attention, it'll skyrocket with, but any casual to even, people who just look at numbers and stuff, they don't pay as much attention to coordinators, So in that sense, it might balance out a little.
Yeah. All right. Hold on 1 second, Travis. Let me, Husseini, you got anything else? Or if you need to go, let me know. And then I'll go over to the 347 caller after Husseini.
Go ahead. I'll talk last.
Okay. 347, you're live. Hello?
Hello?
Hello? What's up?
Oh.
You're gone. You're gone. You're not prepared. I mean, you're literally sitting there on the spot. I gave you a hello to just kind of soften the mood, and then you just stand there like QJ.
Finish him.
All right, Hussein, let me get the super chat real quickly. Chargers line will be healthy. Offense will be fire. Yeah, definitely. If they can stay healthy. And honestly, I mean, the injuries on the offensive line, while, again, we're apologists for Herbert over and over and over, I'm ready to apologize one more time if I need to. I'm signed up. I'm ready to go. I think that you're probably you're still looking at injuries to that offensive line that have no concern for this year. It's not like, oh my God, I totally think this is going to replicate itself, and we're going to be an injury-riddled offensive line all year. There are older guys that just are trash, and they're just not going to stay healthy. Like, example would be in San Francisco. San Francisco's offensive line concerns, especially around Trent Williams, 100% are a replicated concern, if not greater, this coming season, because Trent Williams is older, and he's trying to tough it out and remain in the league while he's getting older and more injury prone and trying to work through injuries for an entire season. This is not that situation, so I feel pretty damn excited about this. Go ahead, Husseini. Thank you, BBQ.
Now, given this news, what do you think is now the likeliness of Kubiak to the Ravens? I feel like that would be like that. I feel like that's where likely. Yeah, or the Raiders. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Kubiak's either going to be, in my opinion, he's going to be in Baltimore or LV. Yeah, he's going to be somewhere there. McDaniel is now. Let me move McDaniel over. We don't have the Chargers in this box, so I'll have to create that while we're talking here. But yeah, I think Coobs should have went to the Falcons.
We almost put the Chargers in that box too, and then we were like, oh, it's just these two are the most likely to get a big name, so we'll keep them here.
It's funny. Definitely.
I have a feeling that Dable will probably go to Buffalo. Just because how we were saying how earlier the other live stream how he's like from there or something.
He wants to be with Josh Allen.
Yeah, he's a cool. Dable's a quarterback whisperer.
Unless they make Joe Brady the head coach, which I'm hearing whispers of. I think they need to just clean the slate. But
yeah, I think that would be a bad move.
I think
it should be Dable. I think he's a good coach.
It's going to be Dable or Webb, I think. Because the word on the street, especially in Buffalo, is that they're allowing Josh Allen to kind of, I don't want to say pick, but they're allowing Josh Allen to kind of decide what he needs. And so it's going to be somebody he's close to. He's very close to Webb, and obviously, really close to Dable as well. And Dable, is always, he's always loved Josh Allen. So to do what Miami Mike is doing, God, Malibu Mike is trying to vie for a 2027 top choice head coaching job. He could go to Cleveland and fail and never be a head coach ever again because he failed twice, he's done. Or he could say, screw getting a job I'm going to have for 1 or 2 years and be out. Let me go to the Chargers and let me dominate there and let me be the top 1 year from now. Very short period of time. Let me be the top head coaching candidate and get my landing spot of choice. So Dable is in the same boat. Like, could Dable maybe get a head coaching interview right now with the Browns, or if he might have already had one? Yeah, but it's gonna be go dominate somewhere as an OC. Mute yourself real quick, caller. I'll be right with you. Go dominate as an OC and get your top choice, or go the other route. So I think that's what's going on here. And the same thing will happen with Dable. So McDaniel over in LAC, it's fantastic. Malibu Mike, All right, Husseini, I'm not going to be here very, very long, so let me go back to Husseini real quickly, have him close out. Then I got another couple callers that I'll get to theirs. So go ahead, Husseini. What else you got?
No, I'm good, Smitty. I was just gonna talk about Kubiak and stuff. I'm good. I'm gonna keep watching, but I'm gonna get off. I don't really have much more to say. But thanks, guys.
All right, call in tonight, and we'll discuss. We're gonna be live at midnight.
I will.
All right, later, bro.
Yeah.
All right, let me go to let me get this McDaniel. I'm trying to move these graphics around so this is all set. McDaniel over in LAC. Malibu Mike. It's crazy, man. And then we got the Philly offensive coordinator job still very important. Nick from Baltimore, you're live.
Hey, I won't bring up Quentin Johnson again, okay? All right.
That's fine.
So
I don't
McDaniel,
hold things against you as long as you understand that. Like, I mean, it is the show, you know. But
yeah,
you know, you seem to have thick skin, so you bring up something like that, then sometimes things are going to go not your way. But go ahead. I'm not saying that QJ shouldn't remain on rosters or if he was available in a league. And I'm like, well, maybe this will. But I'm just saying we're not expecting anything yet out of QJ. It's good for him, but I mean, if I had to pick somebody to thrive, it would be Ladd. But go ahead. Next topic.
Okay, McDaniel isn't official to be the OC. I think that he still is in like competition for the Ravens and Raiders. So as for the head coaching job. So
call terminated.
He's always got to be negative. He just said, okay, we're not going to go that way. He's always trying to be contrarian. Nick from Baltimore always calls in to try and derail. Like, let me just come in here and tell you all what's really going on. He's just, you don't have QJ on here. That's what's really going on. Let me just come in and tell you it's not official. He's expected to be ink to pen, not officially official, but this guy's still going to Baltimore tomorrow night because I'm Nick from Baltimore. You don't think I see?
There might be a little hope there.
I mean, I give the guy a clean slate, and I tell him I don't hold it against you. It's a clean. Every time you call in, it's a clean slate with me. You know, and some, you know, fragile Freddies out there, you know, Karens or Morgans or whatever they call in there, or they comment, Smitty, you're really mean hanging up on Steven. Like, you got a clean slate, but I gave him a clean slate, and then boom, drops a negative bomb, right? An irrelevant negative bomb right on the chat. All right, Travis, anything else?
Yeah, just with the other coaching jobs open, it's starting to feel more and more like Flores could be the guy for Pittsburgh, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely.
He just had his in-person interview.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like he's the front runner at the very least.
Doesn't he, like the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach has to look mean? And
yeah, well, he's that defensive guy.
Yeah, defensive.
With a mean streak. He's young.
Right. A guy doesn't smile. You know, just walking in the snow, like just walking around, like just angry face, looking at everybody, just defensive-minded, hard-nosed. Like Flores fits the bill. So I definitely could see that. Then who do they hire as the offensive coordinator? Do they do a Mike McDaniel thing? Do they get a Malibu? Do they get their version of Malibu? Is it Cliff? Is it Pittsburgh Cliff?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is that's the nice thing with Flores, though, is that I don't, you know, Tomlin, like Ron was right about that with Tomlin, and I always felt the same way, that his ego wouldn't let, you know, someone outshine him at a positional spot. And I don't think Flores will care about that. I think Flores will want someone for the offense, so he likes to just worry about the defense. And so that would actually give me some hope for the Steelers, that they'd get someone in there to fix the offense. I guess the question is, you know, what direction does like Arizona go?
They want a Salah.
Who is it? Right, Tennessee got Salah.
I'd probably say.
So who's left? Who's left besides the Steelers, Ravens, Raiders? There's Cleveland, Arizona, and who?
Green Bay.
Is there another?
Green Bay, Cleveland, Arizona, Raiders.
Green Bay Green Bay's coordinator? Because they have LaFleur.
Well, yeah. Sorry, let me put that in the box here. I knew it's gonna get really messy in here. But
So those are the three head coaching left.
Yeah,
though,
OC
right?
jobs I'll
it?
put in this all in this box so it's clear. Okay, so yeah, for offensive. See, the reason why this is getting messy is because it's like we go and find a head coach, but their defense, and then we're more worried about the offensive piece, and it's like I don't have room for that. So it's gonna get kind of crosshaired here, but we'll just go offensive OC jobs in this box. I might make it bigger if, let's say, we get the head coach that we want somewhere. Like, let's say Flores went to Baltimore, but then they bring in, let's just say, for craps and giggles, Kingsbury. Then we'd have to. I don't know how I'm going to move this around. But yeah, Cleveland, Arizona, Steelers. I mean, I think Flores is going to be one of them. I think Shieldhouse might actually be a strong consideration for like Arizona later. I could see that happening. Kubiak.
Mm-hmm.
Does McDermott get a? I mean, McDermott might. Shula. I don't know.
Yeah, he could be attractive to someone.
I would
Kubiak
say
is definitely getting one. Flores is definitely getting one. I think.
Flores. I think Dable's an OC. I think Webb may or may not might end up in. Oh, why isn't Buffalo on here?
Yeah, it said Buffalo.
But I mean, I didn't
That's
have
the last one, I think.
I didn't have him on here. Okay, Buffalo's now there. Okay, so Buffalo.
There's still 6 openings for head coach. Okay.
Yeah, I'd probably say Dable could get the Buffalo one. That's what my hope is. If not, he could be an OC.
Yeah.
Kingsbury may or may not. Munkin probably. If I had to guess, I see Munkin. Likely pairing back up with Harbaugh, but BBQ with the $20 hauler. Pittsburgh has 12 picks in this year's draft, 7 in the first 5 rounds. New coach could really start with his own guys. Shula will be a great fit. Flores is nice, but they need an offensive-minded. Well, they just get a. The problem is the offensive-minded guys can kind of get head coaching jobs right now, so it's a little tough. Like the Miami Mike thing was nice because now he's Malibu Mike. He was a head coach maybe, but probably going to be an OC. But getting considered. Thank you for the $20 hauler, by the way, BBQ. I know BBQ really, really wants Shula. He's been saying that a couple times now. I don't blame you.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Don't blame you. Nick says Smitty is triggered about QJ tonight. Hung up on twice after saying his name. Or Nick, you could ask the chat, did you get hung up on legitimately twice? Or is it because you disagree with me, I'm biased or wrong or triggered? Do I look like a guy that gets triggered? Or do I look like a guy that...
Second time wasn't about
saying,
QJ the second time.
I'm just saying, do I look like the kind of American, American man, aggressive, a guy's guy? Do I look like somebody that gets triggered, or do I look like someone that reacts? Because I don't qualify myself as someone that's capable of being triggered. I don't have triggers. I am a reactionary man, a reactionary man's man. Okay. Anything else? Who else is on the phone? I think everybody else hung up. Travis, anything else? We'll be back at midnight.
No, I think I'm good. Oh, in the chat, I'll hang up. But D-Town, he's obviously a Detroit fan. He said he doesn't know much about Petzing. If you could just give him a quick rundown on that. But I'll call back at midnight. Thanks.
All right, later, Travis. Appreciate you. I mean, Petzing was in Arizona. Look at Brissett. Look at Kyler. Mixed bag. Hard to say. Go watch the beginning. Go watch the part 1 of tonight's 8 p.m. show because I talk about petsing out long detail. So I'm not going to repeat it all here. Go watch that show. There's two 8 p.m. shows tonight, part 1, part 2. See you all at midnight. Appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget to click the link in the live chat to get on over to the live chat Patreon. Click the link in the, or not, it's not in the live chat, it's in the description. The live chat Patreon link in description, thefantasyfootballshow.com, rankings, bold predictions. I'm going to move Hampton up a significant amount tonight. Where am I going to move him? You'll have to check it out. See you all later. Appreciate every single one of you. Be back at midnight Eastern on the channel. Landman says Nagy to the Cardinals. Landman, hold on, let me put Landman's super chat on screen here. He dropped a Rumble rant over on Rumble. Guys, make sure you click on the Rumble link in the live chat as well. Let's see real quickly. Let me celebrate Landman's message here. Landman, you can call in tonight at midnight about this topic too if you want. Landman dropped this little super over on the Rumble side. He says Nagy to the Cardinals. I hope not, bro. You know how pissed I would be? I wouldn't even want to watch Cardinal games. Like, that's the kind of move, like, people say, like, oh, I'm going to stop being a fan if they do, and you always say, yeah, that's a bad fan. You're going to let somebody, Nagy goes to Arizona, I could understand it. It wouldn't be that I would stop being a Cardinal fan. I would just put it on hold. There's no way I'm watching Cardinal games with Nagy as my head coach and feeling any sort of good about it. Like, I couldn't do it. You just put your fandom on hold. There's no way. The Cardinals they'd be dead to me. They would be the worst decision. It'd be worse than any. Adam Gase and Nagy are like the 2 worst coaching hires ever. All right, see you guys at midnight. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you, Landman. But he hates Nagy. Oh man, annoying. Nagy could be too annoying, bro. He's more than annoying. He's a horrible coach. All right, thank you, Landman. Thank you, Rumble. Thank you, YouTube. See you all at midnight Eastern.